Well, the Miami Hurricanes took signing day by storm this year.
The Canes landed a total of 23 recruits, including Christian Williams, who flipped his commitment from Alabama to Miami.
Good evening and welcome to our first NewsVision show of the spring semester. I'm Rebecca Chung.
And I'm Tyler Walsh. Thank you for joining us. Christian Williams is not the only promising recruit to sign with the Canes this year. Our sports reporter Madison Brown is live at the Watsco Center with more about the Canes 2019 recruiting class. Madison, who else did the Canes sign?
The 20th ranked cornerback in the country, Christian Williams, will be part of the Canes Surge 19 recruiting class. The four-star recruit from Daphne, Alabama, was originally committed to the University of Alabama, but flipped and signed with the Canes yesterday. The Canes also snagged three-star JUCO punter Lewis Headley from Australia, and head coach Manny Diaz landed 8 transfers, bringing the Canes total to 23 for 2019. After UM's women's basketball team takes on Notre Dame tonight, the UM's annual Sports Fest competition will kick off tonight at the Watsco Center, and you don't want to miss it. The Sports Fest celebration will kick off tonight after the ceremony and the torch lighting. And then over the weekend, students all across campus will compete against each other to be crowned Sports Fest champions. I'm Madison Brown reporting live at the Watsco Center for UMTV.
Thanks, Madison. And now here's UMTV meteorologist Jackson Dill with a first look at our forecast.
Thanks, guys. Well, the weather right now is very pleasant out here in South Florida. 73 in Miami, 74 in Fort Lauderdale, and this is just previewing the very nice weather we have in store for the next few days here in the region. So Sports Fest is this week, and it's actually beginning this evening. The weather's going to be pretty perfect for it, so expect mostly clear skies. Temperatures will be in the low 70s, so it won't drop off that much in terms of temperatures. As we get into our Friday, the day of events will begin. Temperatures will be quite mild but seasonable for this time of the year in the upper 70s. Expect a few clouds out there, but it's going to be nice and dry. And then for our Saturday, again, it'll be in the mid 70s. Expect partly cloudy skies and maybe a stray shower out there. Still ahead in weather, I'm going to be talking about the chance for weekend showers. How high is that chance? Also, the seasonal temperatures, they're going to be taking over the forecast through the foreseeable future, but what's seasonable? And I'm also going to take a look at the snow that's impacting parts of the northern tier. That's still ahead. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Jackson. Over the weekend, an interesting video was posted online. It shows at least 2 people dancing on what seems to be the roof of one of the university's residential colleges. The video shows 2 men wearing bathing suits on the roof of Pearson Residential College. Residential assistants say they had to look around the building after they were alerted that students were on the roof. It's not clear if the dancers were found, but the video has caused concerns since there has been at least 1 suicide in the past few years involving a student jumping from the roof of a residential college. We reached out to UM officials for comment but have not heard back yet.
And the heated race for the election of the next student government leaders is in full swing. The 2 executive tickets, the Switch Up and Empower You, began campaigning yesterday on social media and around campus. For many, the race symbolizes a battle between embracing tradition and embracing something new. The Switch Up is made of 3 business students who want to use their experience to serve on student government for the first time. Junior Dwayne Washington is a former athlete running for president, along with Justin Grauer for vice president and Julia Lynch for treasurer. The team's main initiatives include decreasing the price of parking tickets and increasing the student employee minimum wage to $10 an hour. And the Empower You ticket is made up of student government veterans. Presidential candidate Emily Gossett is the current chief of staff for student government. Vice presidential candidate Millie Chokshi is the treasurer. Candidate Jason Kaplan has also served on student government. The team's main platforms include reducing textbook costs, adding food trucks around campus, and creating a job fair with alumni employers. Elections will take place February 18th through the 21st.
From university to national politics now, Donald Trump's State of the Union address has stirred up quite the reaction, and his statements have left some wondering what is next for our country. Trump continued to push for stronger border protection. He also urged lawmakers to work together and help fund his initiative to build a wall. He cited state safety as a key reason to take action now, but some questions the rhetoric, Trump used to describe immigrants, saying the divisive language may have had a negative impact for the future.
It's not just the fact that he's focusing on immigration, it's that he's worked very diligently to convince the American people that immigrants are criminals. There have been studies that prove that immigrants are less likely to commit crime, and the number of people entering the country illegally has gone down year after year. His rhetoric is entirely inconsistent with the facts, and it makes it more difficult for the two parties to come together.
Trump's State of the Union speech was delayed due to the government shutdown that left many workers without compensation for over a month. And if Congress does not agree on a border security bill, we could see another shutdown in less than 10 days. The parents of some students killed at Parkland last year were also at the State of the Union, although Trump did not address gun control.
And two of those Parkland parents caused a stir on Capitol Hill yesterday when they clashed with one Congress member.
But a wall, a barrier on the southern border may have, and that's what we're fighting for. Mr. Chairman. Well,
gentlemen will suspend.
Greatest driver of violence in the circumstances that I indicated was not the firearm. It was the fact that we have an immigration system that allows people to come here violently. We engage in...
Well, there will be no comments or demonstrations.
This comes after Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz pushed for building the wall along the southern border instead of strengthening background checks for gun owners. The confrontations continued, and the congressman even asked for the fathers to be removed. The one-year anniversary of the mass shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School is just 1 week away. Join us next Thursday for a special edition of NewsVision. We'll be live in Parkland with what's changed over the past year.
Every semester, UM's Butler Center organizes a social justice week to educate students about current world issues.
And this semester, the week included one larger-than-life sculpture that was meant to address an even larger national issue.
UMTV reporter Brianna Ross joins us in the studio with more. So Brianna, what is so special about this statue?
Well, for starters, guys, it is somewhat controversial. Some students told me they were scared when they walked into the University Center and saw a large black hoodie towering over them. I got a chance to speak with the maker of the piece, and its meaning might surprise you. Those who walked into UM's University Center during Social Justice Week in January were startled by what they saw.
It really caught me off guard because I didn't know what it meant or what it stood for.
It is a 9-foot-tall replica of a black hoodie placed in the middle of the center.
I assumed that it was to bring awareness to something involving police brutality, because I instantly thought of Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon Martin was an unarmed African-American teenager who was shot and killed back in 2012 by a neighborhood guard. Many believe he was racially profiled because of the hoodie he was wearing. Creator Billy Lynn says she followed the Trayvon Martin case closely, and that the hoodie is meant to represent stereotypes that many people assign to African-Americans.
Some people can wear a hoodie and have it be meaningless. And some people, especially if they're young, African American, and large, they become dangerous.
The Hoodie Project is not Billy's first controversial piece. About a year ago, she created an American mask, a replica of KKK hoods made of the American flag. But Billy says the Hoodie Project is a different type of hood, one that she hopes starts conversations anyone can learn from.
Actually making the hoodie is a way for me to think about that and to ask people what it means to them, so that I can and others can find out more.
Hands Up, Don't Shoot is just one of the many messages students have written on this hoodie statue with these markers. Now the goal is to fill up the entire statue with thoughts and reflections on its meaning. Some social media users expressed their opposition on the installation. One person wrote, quote, "It's simply another liberal hoax to stir up unrest for political gain." Though the piece has sparked controversy, university social justice educator Stephanie Suarez says that is exactly what it's meant to do.
The purpose of this hoodie is really to be disruptive. It's to be something like large and in your face that forces you to kind of think about and talk about these issues and really contemplate what kind of actions you can be taking.
And Billy Lynn also told me that her even bigger 24-foot hoodie sculpture will be on display at the Low Art Museum this summer. Spectators will be able to go inside the hoodie and watch a video with personal stories about racial stereotypes. Billy hopes this will be another step towards sparking conversation and change. For UMTV, I'm Brianna Ross. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Brianna. Another big event on campus had hundreds of students lining up to see a childhood icon. Bill Nye, the Science Guy.
Bill. UMTV's Celine White was there and joins us live from the Shalala Student Center. Celine, we are so jealous. We love Bill Nye, the Science Guy.
Well, guys, the feeling is clearly mutual amongst the student body. Today, hundreds of UM students and faculty flooded the Shalala Student Center to hear the science legend speak. Bill Nye participated in the University of Miami Student Government What Matters to You event. The purpose of the event is to engage students in a non-traditional lecture that fosters important conversations. The event began with a presentation about climate change from UM students. The renowned scientist then offered his remarks about the climate and what the current generations can do to positively implement change. His conclusion, if we focus on renewable energy and water conservation, we might just be able to change the future. I am Celine White reporting for UMTV NewsVision from the Shalala Student Center.
Thanks, Celine, and still ahead on NewsVision, we'll visit one installation on campus designed to provoke and inspire.
When we come back, we'll take you inside the tunnel of oppression and tell you what was different about this year's event. Stay with us.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Conversation about issues that reach far beyond the University of Miami.
It's all a part of an event called the Tunnel of Oppression. Our reporter Ben Ezzy went to check it out.
We can all agree that it's great to be a Miami Hurricane.
The shots of campus scenery may have been bright, but students at the University of Miami were busy shedding light into the darkness.
The goal of Tunnel is basically to spread awareness. All the different issues that happen today are the ones that we point out, and Tunnel specifically are ones that people know about but usually don't spend time to think about.
The event is called the Tunnel of Oppression, and it was developed through the Butler Center for Service and Leadership by students who wanted to make a difference.
It's just to spark a change, to get students to want to be involved and get them to feel like there's something that they could do to move forward as well.
It really is a student experience from the beginning to the end. Students actually build the rooms and they create these different multi-sensory experiences for students to walk through and really see how oppression shows up in our world today.
So take a moment to look around the room and educate yourself about the signs of trafficking. and learn about what previous victims have gone through and how they have come out from it.
It was very dark, and we were immediately greeted by, both auditory stimulation through the headphones and a lot of visual components, a lot of pictures and words on the wall. The section about the human trafficking, that it was happening right in our backyard in high quantities, was just, I had no idea before.
And that's all part of the goal for event organizers, to open people's eyes and to start a conversation.
The issues are still there. So it sucks that we have to put on tunnel every year, but it's something that's needed for the community to understand that it's a cycle, and we want to break the cycle that is happening of people worrying about it when they come to tunnel and leaving and not thinking about it. Get people to start living by it rather than just making it a one-day experience.
Reporting for UMTV, I'm Ben Ezzy.
The Tunnel of Oppression was not the only event that happened on campus this past week. The Asian American Student Association hosted its 8th annual Lunar New Year celebration. The celebration took place on Monday at UM's campus to celebrate the Year of the Pig. Students were able to celebrate the new year by learning about different Asian cultures, eating traditional Chinese food, and watching live performances.
Well, at least the weather looked nice for the Chinese New Year celebration.
Absolutely. A great night to be out, and I couldn't have been happier about that.
But we have been, having some on-off, good, bad weather here in Florida. So what's ahead for us, Jackson?
Well, the weather the next few days looks pretty consistent, similar to today, where we're going to see a lot of sunshine, some clouds at times. There is a slight chance for some showers this weekend, but the general trend is going to be dry and warm. Let's take a look at current conditions outside right now. Here in Coral Gables, it's 73 degrees. We got a dew point of 62, indicating a pretty dry air for this time of the year, and we have some nice light winds out there, east at 9 miles per hour. Taking a look at the radar and satellite right now, you're not really seeing much out there just because it's nice and clear and dry there. There's a few showers popping off way off the coast, but nothing much to watch right now. Now, as we take a look at the futurecast, we're going to see a few showers possibly move off on shore beginning tonight. There will be that risk as we go into the day Friday, but the best chance scenario is that it's going to be nice and dry for Friday. Just have the umbrella hand just in case. Meanwhile, in the northern tier of the U.S., we have this nasty snowstorm currently impacting parts of the upper Midwest, with heavy snow currently in the upper peninsula of Michigan. Meanwhile, we have this area of heavy rain currently impacting the Ohio River Valley. That's going to move into the northeast coming up. And we're going to see rounds of rain and snow moving into the northern tier of the U.S. As we see this first storm moving out this weekend, we're going to see this new storm begin to develop towards the south and west coming up, and so that's going to bring some snow for your Sunday and some Monday across parts of the northeast. Here in Coral Gables, it's going to be pretty nice tonight, 68 degrees. Expect pretty clear skies. It's going to be nice and comfortable out there. For tomorrow morning, expect 73 degrees as you wake up, partly cloudy skies, and it's going to be a pretty pleasant morning. And then as we get into the afternoon, expect more of the same, getting up to 78 degrees, spy shower possible, and that will take us to the 7-day forecast. We're going to see pretty nice conditions for the foreseeable future with not much of rain in the forecast. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jackson. And the weather will be good to check out the Coral Gables Farmers Market, which happens each week just a few minutes away from campus.
UMTV's Sharon Danquah went to try some tasty treats.
Local residents like Alex and Alexa have added the Coral Gables Farmers Market to their Saturday routine. They attend the market every weekend to pick up some of their favorite fresh foods.
Yeah, this is just a really great thing for us to do. We actually live right down the street and we come here every Saturday to pick up some of our favorite juice.
Locally made fresh fruit juice in particular.
So this is 305 squeezed, and we do fresh juice and we do fresh fruits. Fruits, we've got oranges, grapefruits, and tangerines. That's all Florida seasonal fruit that's running right now. And then our juices, we use that same fruit and we make our juices. That's what we do here, and so far so good.
The Coral Gables Farmers Market is a local's favorite. Vendors come from all over Miami to sell things like fresh squeezed juice and even this giant onion. The city of Coral Gables has organized its 29th annual farmers market, bringing in hundreds of customers every weekend. Tents line the streets to sell local produce, baked goods, plants, and so much more.
So my name is Frank. I'm here with Courtney's Cookies. I'm a vendor at this Coral Gables market, and here we sell Courtney's Cookies. Courtney's my wife. We've been in business about 2.5 years, and we sell organic, vegan, and gluten-free cookies and ice cream sandwiches.
Bad weather this weekend put a stop to the market's usual offering of free Tai Chi classes, gardening workshops, and cooking demonstrations. But the rain was not an issue for all customers.
The weather's not too great today, but it doesn't stop us. We still have a good time.
The market is open every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. until March 25th, located at the corner of Miracle Mile and Lejeune Road. Reporting from UMTV, I'm Sharon Dankwa.
Yum, it looked delicious, especially the cookies.
I know, I'm also a big juice guy, so it's definitely good to see that. But
have to be sure to check it out this week.
Absolutely. And still ahead on NewsVision, we'll head back out to the Watsco Center for a live update on tonight's game.
Plus, signing day is bringing a surge of new students to play for the U. We'll take a look at some of yesterday's other big announcements.
And don't forget, Off the Wire is back. Join us tonight in Studio C at 8 for a taping of the show's premiere. NewsVision will be right back.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Thanks for staying with NewsVision. I'm sports reporter Madison Brown reporting live at the Watsco Center. The number 25 ranked Canes are currently leading number 4 ranked Notre Dame 22-19 at the end of the first quarter. And the women's basketball team unveiled Adidas celebrating Black culture uniforms tonight. The men's and women's basketball teams will be wearing these uniforms all throughout February for Black History Month and to celebrate culture and inclusion. The uniforms are inspired by the early 20th century's Harlem Renaissance, which is considered one of the most influential movements in African American history. The wooden floors of the ballrooms where basketball became culture inspired the jerseys. The word ballroom is featured on the waistband of the shorts, and the jerseys also include a celebrating Black culture patch. The Canes are just one of the Adidas Power 5 teams to be sporting the uniforms this February. And also in honor of Black History Month, tonight there will be a cultural performance at halftime. I'm Madison Brown reporting live for UMTV. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Madison. The coaching change in December did no favors for the Hurricanes in their early signing period, but head coach Manny Diaz hit the ground running. The 2019 class is looking impressive after a decent signing day yesterday and a slew of transfers. Of the 24 signees, 7 are transfers, but the impact made on signing day is still very present. Diaz filled out the Hurricanes' lackluster offensive and defensive lines with 4-star athletes. He also filled the defense with players from Florida, carrying on UM's local footprint. Diaz himself assured that the team was not going to be the team that played in New York in 2018. Over 60 Canes have appeared in the Super Bowl to date, so it is no surprise that we saw 4 Hurricanes on the field over the weekend, and all of them left with a ring. Ufomba Kamalu, Trent Harris, Philip Dorsett, and Braxton Berrios celebrated with the Patriots after their win over the Rams in Atlanta. Though Dorsett was the only one who saw the field on Sunday, Berrios and Harris are bright spots in the Patriots' depth chart, and Kamalu was moved off the practice squad at the start of the season. They joined the 47 Hurricanes who have also won a Super Bowl. Intramural sports are a staple for the University of Miami, but sometimes the toughest part is not the game, but rather it's the other players. The competitive edge most participants have lends itself to outbursts, which can be detrimental to both the players and the refs.
Yeah, I think it's more the sportsmanlike conduct. A lot of the students that do play get very heated, and a lot of times the refs can't really do much about it aside from kick players out or just tell them to stop, but it's very consistent amongst players.
The most the refs can do in the moment is eject the player who is lashing out, but off the field they will send the player to meet with the IM supervisor for their sport. The hope is that the games can be both fun and friendly. It's great to see some of our fellow students participating in sports, even as we see Canes go pro.
That's right, teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Absolutely.
And just ahead, we'll take you to one Miami restaurant that has no name, literally.
Reporter Tej Joshi tells us about the culture-infused cuisine in an all-new edition of Food Finds when we come back.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts. Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
One Miami restaurant has taken the Cuban flair and added it to traditional Chinese food.
UMTV reporter Tej Joshi went to the no-name Chinese restaurant to see what's leaving customers speechless.
Located just a few blocks from Sunset Place, No Name Chinese offers a new take on Asian cuisine.
No Name Chinese is a Chinese restaurant with a Miami perspective. So we do a lot of, Chinese dim sum, Cantonese, Szechuan style food with a little bit of a Miami vision.
A Miami vision indeed. Chef Pablo, a Colombian native, uses influences from around the world to create his dishes.
Fire me a chocolate tart. Two market fish and steak all day. There is a lot of influences in our food and in our restaurant. Thai, Vietnamese, a little bit of Japanese.
Those international influences come from Chef Pablo's time abroad.
And I worked in China, I worked in Hawaii, and I worked in Japan.
All these cultures coming together leads to some fun flavors.
We like to, have a lot of fun with the flavors, the food, the drinks. Right now we're doing a lot of sake cocktails. We're investing a lot of time in our beverage program.
If all this seems a bit too pricey, don't worry, No Name Chinese has got you covered.
We offer for our lunch service, we offer 15% off for UM students, faculty, staff.
Reporting for UMTV, Tej Joshi.
Ooh, cocktails and Chinese food, my two favorite things, right?
That place seemed great. No Name Chinese, that's quite the name they got there.
It's so Miami to see the blending of two cultures come out in such a delicious way.
Absolutely, and nothing says good food like Cuban and Chinese, so like you said, putting them together is just, it's amazing.
Hey, that's all we have for tonight's edition of NewsVision. Thank you for joining us for our first show of the semester.
We'll be back next week with a special edition of NewsVision on the anniversary of the mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneham Douglas High School. We hope to see you then. Have a great night.